In this problem, we're going to complete the amortization schedule for the first 3 months of the purchase of a house. So here are the details. The house sells for $176,500 and a 5% down payment is made. The mortgage is secured at 7% for 15 years, and the monthly payment is $1,507.40. Compute and complete the amortization schedule below for the first 3 months for the purchase of the house above, and round all answers to 2 decimal places when necessary. Okay, so first thing we need to do is figure out what the mortgage amount is. And we know that the house sells for $176,500 and that 5% down payment is made. So the first thing we're going to need to compute is what's the amount of the down payment. We know that the down payment is going to be 5% of the selling price of the house. So you know that's going to be a multiplication. So let's compute the down payment of for the house purchase first. So again, the down payment is 5%. So we're going to use the decimal 0.05 times the purchase price of the house, which in this case is $176,500. And so that gives us a down payment of $8,825. So now we need to figure out how much money needs to be borrowed for the mortgage. And yes, you probably guessed that we're going to have to take this down payment amount and subtract it from the selling price. So our next step will be to figure out the mortgage amount by taking the down payment subtracted from the selling price of the house. So let's do that next. Okay, so here it is, mortgage amount, which equals the selling price of the house, and subtract the down payment, which we computed above. So $176,500 minus $8,825, which leaves us a grand total of $167,675. This is the amount of the mortgage. And so that's going to be our principal, right? Especially for the first payment number one. Payment number one, we're owing the entire amount of the loan. And so our principal amount for payment number one of our loan is $167,675. We're going to use that to be P in our simple interest formula. Interest equals principal times rate times time. Okay, so hang on. So this is what we're going to compute next. Okay, so as you know, our interest formula is interest equals principal P times rate R as a decimal times time T in years, or I equals PRT, where P is the principal, and for the first month, that principal is going to be your entire mortgage amount, which is, in our case, $167,675. The rate for our case is, as a decimal, is 0.07. That's an annual rate, so our time has to also be in years, and we're making monthly payments. So our time really for the first payment is 1 month out of an entire year. Now, since each year has 12 months, then we're going to have time equal to 1/12, or 1/12 of a year, which is the same as a month. And so we're going to substitute these values into our I equals PRT formula to then calculate the interest paid during the first monthly payment. Okay, so again, interest equals principal times rate times time. And so I put it here on my graphing calculator, and I computed that the interest for the first month is $978.10 if we round it to 2 decimal places. So that's what's going to come here for the first box, okay? $978.10. So $978.10. Now, what's the payment on the principal? Well, here's where you have to use the fact that you know that your whole entire monthly payment is $1,507.40. So out of that monthly payment, $978.10 is interest. So of course, the remainder of that payment goes to the principal. So we do have to do a subtraction here. Our monthly payment minus our interest gives us the principal payment. So let's do that next. So I've done our calculations here. Monthly payment minus interest payment gives us that $529.30 was paid towards the principal. So that's what's going to come back over here on the first month payment on principal. $529.30. Okay, so then what's left on the balance on the loan? Well, only $529.30 was paid towards the principal. Remember the mortgage amount was $167,675. So the balance of the loan would be take that amount and subtract this payment on principal, and that tells you how much is still owing on the principal of the loan after the first monthly payment. So that's what's going to go in this box right here. So you see I've made the calculation here. The balance of the loan is the mortgage amount minus the payment on the principal. 167,675 minus 529.30, or 167,145.70 cents. So that goes here. Okay, that's for the payment number 1. Okay, now here comes payment number 2. Payment number 2, we have to compute once again. We have to repeat the process to compute the interest paid. But remember, here's the difference. The principal in the second month is not the original loan amount anymore. The principal is now this new balance on the loan. So that's what you're going to do differently for month number 2. Instead of using the principal as the entire mortgage amount, you're going to use the balance of the loan as your new principal. So we're going to repeat all of these steps again. So starting right here with the interest, okay, I equals PRT, but it is now month 2. So the principal is going to be 167,145.70. So here's the calculation for the interest for the second month. Okay, so here are my second month calculations. I equals PRT, but we're going to use the principal, which is the balance on the loan from payment number 1. So 167,145.70. The rate is still 0.07, 7% interest rate, and it's still, the time is still 1 month, which is 1/12 of a year. So you do that calculation, you get 975.0166, rounded to 2 decimal places, or 975.02. And the payment on the principal is once again the monthly payment minus this interest payment that you just computed. So 1507.40 minus 975.02, or $532.38. And the balance on the loan, take the principal, which is the balance of the loan from the previous month, and subtract the new principal payment on principal, to give you the new balance of the loan. And so you'll see that I'm going to fill in the row 2 using these values. And so here are our values into month 2 into the table. Okay, I bet you can guess what you're going to do in payment number 3. Matter of fact, we're going to repeat the process. Here's your new principal for your interest for I equals PRT. And so just repeat the process once again, but using this as your new principal for month number 3. And so here are the ending values that you should get. So here are your month 3 values. And as you can see, as the balance of the loan goes down, or as the principal starts to get smaller, then the payment going towards interest is also going down, which means that out of our monthly payment, more is going towards the payment on the principal. So that's why when you start out with loans, with new loans, a bigger chunk of the monthly payment is going towards interest, but with each passing month, the chunk that's going towards interest is going down, while the money that's going towards payment of the principal is going up.